Nia Jax claims she has a strategy plan to dethrone Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax is coming for Rhea Ripley's championship at WWE Saturday Night's main event. Could the Anoa'i family member cut short the Eradicator's reign the same month she won it? Jax seems to have a strategy to make sure that happens. When the Irresistible Force signed a new contract with World Wrestling Entertainment in September 2023, she went after Ripley right off the gate. The two have locked horns several times ever since, including their main event at Elimination Chamber, Perth last year. Unfortunately, Jax always came up short. Screen Rant interviewed Nia Jax ahead of the latter's title shot at Saturday night's main event. The challenger articulated her plan, but showed respect to the champion, stating that Rhea Ripley is one of the best in the business, irrespective of gender. Rhea is one of our top athletes. Female, male, she's one of our top athletes. I think previously, when we got into it, we had the main event in Elimination Chamber last year. I tried a different strategy. But this time I feel like I got to match her with some intensity. I think just coming out of the gate and going pound for pound with her and seeing if I could just wear her down and then pick her apart. Nia Jax said the Irresistible Force was WWE Women's Champion for over 5 months before Tiffany Stratton cashed in the Money in the Bank contract on her. Jax does not seem to care for whoever is on top, as she only cares about being at the top herself. The coach chastises WWE for booking Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax out of left field. Nia Jax is still a member of the SmackDown roster, but she appeared on Raw this week for a match against her longtime rival and the Red brand's newest acquisition, Bayley. Jax attacked Ripley before her match with Bayley, to which the Eradicator responded with an attack of her own after she prevailed over last year's Royal Rumble winner, in a recent episode of Behind the Turnbuckle. The last word. Jonathan Coachman said he is not amused by WWE booking the Irresistible Force as Ripley's next challenger, because it makes no sense. The coach also slammed Jax for repetitiveness and for being an overall disappointment. They've given her a million chances, and it just seems that you see the same thing, like tonight headbutting Rhea Ripley. And, I hope they're not going to start an angle with these two, because that would be absolutely terrible because you got to get somebody you can work with, he said. It remains to be seen if this is only the beginning of a lengthy rivalry between these two women. For now, Saturday night's main event is where they are heading for a collision course. Nia Jax sends stern warning to Rhea Ripley ahead of title clash at WWE Saturday Night's main event January 2025. The two stars will lock horns at the Frostbank Center. The newly crowned Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley is set to defend her title for the first time against former WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax at the January 25th edition of Saturday Night's main event. The January 25th edition of WWE Saturday Night's main event will emanate live from the Frostbank Center in San Antonio, Texas. 3 title clashes along with a clash between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu have been announced for the show. Ripley recently defeated Liv Morgan on the historic debut episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, which took place on January 6th at the Intuit Dome. Ripley not only defeated Morgan, but also ended the rivalry with a significant win. The match between Ripley and Jax was set up following a backstage attack on the January 20th episode of Monday Night Raw, where Jax attacked the Women's World Champion unprovoked. This attack angered Rhea, who later in the show walked in to exact her revenge. This led to a brawl between the two, which ended with Ripley climbing to the announcer's desk and announcing a clash between her and Jax at SNME with her title on the line. Ahead of their clash, Jax took to her X handle to reply to a fan tweet about the upcoming clash. Replying to the fan tweet, Jax stated that she would slap her, Ripley, back to her blonde hair. Jax's jab was a reference to Ripley's earlier WWE persona, which featured her sporting blonde hair and a more generic ring attire. Nia Jax recently lost the WWE Women's title against Tiffany Stratton. Jax has recently lost the WWE Women's title at the hands of her friend Tiffany Stratton in the first episode of Friday Night SmackDown in 2024. Stratton cashed in her MITB contract on Jax in the January 13th episode of SmackDown. Jax was defending her title against Naomi when Stratton appeared and aided Jax in her title defense. However, after the defense, Stratton attacked Jax and cashed in the MITB contract, which was followed by the prettiest moonsault and a 3 count. Who do you think will emerge victorious in the clash between Jax and Ripley at SNME? Has Nia Jax forgotten Tiffany Stratton's betrayal? Or has she forgiven her and moved on? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Rhea Ripley's rival says their issues will never end. Rhea Ripley is not only the women's world champion, but one of the most valuable and marketable stars in the division. Now that she holds the gold once again, quite a few women have their eyes on her. Raquel Rodriguez recently reflected on her history with Rhea Ripley, which dates back to their days in NXT. In 2023, the two locked horns several times over the belt. She is a current member of the Judgment Day, while Ripley broke out as a huge star from the group. In a recent interview for Casual Conversations with the Classic, Raquel Rodriguez broke character to discuss Rhea Ripley. Rodriguez noted that the Eradicator is like a sister to her off-screen. But the thing about sisters is, they fight a lot. I look at Rhea like my real-life sister, which is also a never-ending rivalry. That's just what sisters do, you know? We fight, we make up, we fight, we make up, we fight, we make up. But at the end of the day, they're always there. Rhea has come such a long way on her own as the superstar in Judgment Day, as this megastar that she is today. So, working with her is always going to be a pleasure of mine, she said. From 1553 to 1621, Rodriguez further called Ripley knowledgeable and creative despite being a very young athlete. She credited these qualities as the reason why the Eradicator gets to run the show today as the face of the division. Rhea Ripley has already reignited a feud with an old foe. This Saturday, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley is set to defend her title against Nia Jax. The match was made official after the two got into an altercation backstage, and then later in the ring. It appears Jax will stop at nothing to reclaim the top spot of the women's division, irrespective of which brand she is part of. As of this writing, however, the irresistible force remains on SmackDown, unaffected by the transfer window that, on the other hand, the former Judgment Day star just won the belt back from Liv Morgan. With a behemoth like Nia Jax in her way, Rhea Ripley's reign is in jeopardy. Saturday night's main event will air live from Frostbank Center in San Antonio, Texas at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, and 6:30 a.m. IST. Rhea Ripley sends three-word savage retort before huge WWE Women's World Championship match. Rhea Ripley has come back with a savage retort after she got called out several times before WWE SmackDown. The star didn't hold back at all. Nia Jax has taken shots at Rhea Ripley recently, making her feelings clear and saying that she would go after her and destroy her after she